Hello, D&Ders and solo D&Ders. This is part 3 of the Wererat. I keep saying it. It's like a tongue-tied twister thingy. Wererat's well. Okay. Um, I apologize. In the last two, I did part 1, part 2. Didn't really view them until it was kind of too late, and I noticed that I talk about things on a character sheet you cannot see. So I've created a web page that you can get to look at my character sheets, and it's a cross comparison. So if you were to go to my webpage, which is drduick.com, right here, click on the Casahedron, come down, I have White Box Roll20 Solo D&D, and these are the links for the episodes I'm going through right here. If you click on the character sheets, you'll see the guys. Now, I formulated these character sheets in the Roll20 Swords of Wizardry thing, and they weren't great. I just made a couple of changes based on like a dexterity, would increase it to hit, and armor class, based on what I use. Okay, for what I do. These were the original note cards that I made the characters from. You can read them across the top. You click them, and it's a ping. I did this with a I guess I did them in Paint. I guess with a drawing tablet, and then I just kind of took them and, like I said, incorporated all this stuff into Roll20 character sheets. I do all this, the strength checks. These are roll under. So if you just click the Casahedron here, which you can't do here on this webpage, but on Roll20 you can, it'll do the roll, and that's what it tells you, roll under for this. And it describes the things that you roll for. Okay, so you can see it's on the legit, right? Now, if I only have one comment I like to make is, like, when playing White Star, the sheet is not laid out like this. It's just a roll and you don't see what it was kind of for, which is kind of difficult. But I actually like the way the sheet's laid out a little better, because it's kind of weird, but I don't have, I can show you what a picture that would look like, since we're learning things today. If you went into my webpage here, the layout of those pages look really kind of cool. So here's the character stat pages. They have these things set up, and they have the gear, and it's really kind of nice. If you click this, it gives you a roll with the bonus. So if you want to do your skill checks different, like a DC 10, DC 15, DC 20, which I actually do in this game because these are 5e players I'm putting in this thing. It's really, really nice. And then I just kind of, on the notes section, you put what they also can do, right? That's a totally different campaign. They're in the midst of something, and everyone went on vacation. I don't know what they're doing right now, but we're going to get back to it, and I can't wait to see what happens here. That world is very extensive, and I know you guys are sort of that would be a totally different thing. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to what I know. In this case, it is my character sheet. So if I make reference to it, I'm going to probably click and kind of show you what I'm clicking. I'll do it a couple of times, and after that, you could just, on your own viewing time, you can go by and take a look at it. But I'm not going to click on something that doesn't work. That would be crazy. Anyways, here's our characters. They're all now kind of like suited up. They've, I guess, got new armor. I guess Stanwyck got the armor. He also got the sword. Ellis got the holy symbol, and everyone else is kind of exactly where they are. Now I'm back into the omnibus here. So they're at a dead end. They're going to come out of this area. All right. And so once again, we get Timmons to take the lead. I'm going to turn him around. Oh, that's Itaz. She's going to come out here first to give him some light. Timmons, my halfling, he's going to come out. And they came up this way. So I have got to make a decision which direction we should go. Once again, I'm letting dice decide everything. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it makes it a little easier, because that way I'm keeping out my subjective knowledge of things. Like I said, I don't read the module ahead of time, so I don't know where anything's going to take me, right? So if I came from this direction, I would say 1, 2, 3 goes here, 4, 5, 6 go this way, right? Although they did chase that one guy all the way down here, and so maybe this would give me more of, like, we should go this way first, right? So they kind of looked here, it looked like nothing was going on. So I'm just going to make it a straight roll. 1, 2, 3 is this way, and 4, 5, 6 is down. So I'm going to say /R1d6, right? 6. Okay, so we're going to go back to where we started. I actually not started. Where the pursuit happened, and that last part occurred where they actually took out that come on, Stanwyck, you gotta get up here now, because you're my gun. So yeah, but you're here. Okay, you guys are going down. Itaz, you're here, And it looks like, okay, so they're going to come into this area, which is, it looks like a giant pit. This looks like a wall or something. What's going on here? I don't know. I have to look at it. And there's another drop on the other side. Ooh, okay, so this will be interesting. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and this is the high landing. Okay, I think I already read this, but I'm going to read it again because I went out and got the lawn, so I forgot what I was doing. This vast, flat chamber is nearly featureless and silent. The only objects of note are the bones scattered about the room and a half dozen small piles. A long cliff drops 50 feet down on its western side. Okay, so I'm going to look back on the map. I have the book out here for a second to see what the west is, because I don't think I have the key on the thing. I can't remember if I do or not, but and I assume, I don't know, it doesn't really have a north-south. Wow, that's interesting. It looks like almost like a Dyson logo map, but there's no north, south, east, west. I'm assuming that the drop is all the way at the very, very end. Why is that the western side? Doesn't make much sense. Interesting. All right. So, yeah, we'll go for it. I guess I'm just going to do it the best I can. So the bones of these adventurers who were once attempted to explore cavern early days were slow. What slew them is unknown, has long since departed the area. If disturbed, they rise as skeletons and attack. Of course, you got a thief. Thieves can't leave well enough alone. So, so Timmons is going to come up to here. He's going to look at this thing, and I'm going to assume that maybe this, I guess maybe this is the west side. I'm going to say this is a scale down. It's a 40-foot scale down. So he's just going to climb the wall, which I don't think it'd be that hard for someone like him. So I'm just going to give a straight out dexterity score for all these guys to scale this wall. And once again, this is my way of kind of doing this. I don't think he's like really kind of stealing or anything. So what I do is, if you look at their dexterity scores right here, this is, let's go up. This would be Timmons. I go down to here and I say dex score. If it's under 17, he's fine, and I click the icosahedron. I'm going to do this for each one of the characters, Stanwyck, as well as Itaz, and the last one being Ellis. So they all have a good chance. I think the lowest dex is going to be Ellis with 10, but the rest of them should be able to make it. Let's see how they do. Okay, so it should be exciting. So let me click through this thing and see how well they fare. First, we're going to do Timmons. He's going to scale down this thing. Come on, Timmons, do not let me down. Come on, you got 17. If you fail this thing, it's like embarrassing. And he takes a couple steps, and he is going to, oh, here it comes, ready? Okay, this makes me nervous. And he makes this quickly down. He has no problem. It kind of slides a little bit, and it comes down at the end and kind of runs off to the bottom, right? The assumption here is that they're all going to make it down before he starts doing his, what I would consider the stupid part of rummaging through bones and not knowing the end product of all that, right? So it makes it a little easier for my gameplay, because I'm not going to put them, here's Stanwyck's going to come up, Itaz and Ellis, all right? So let's do Ellis, wait, hold on a second. Stanwyck, let's look at your character sheet. I'm going to pop you open. And okay, here we go, buddy. You are going to make a dexterity check. You got to beat a 15. Let's see how you did here. Whoa. Can't you make it? Yes, Stanwyck. He accidentally, has no problem. You got I guess the new chainmail makes it easy on him. It's not nearly as height silvered and stuff like that. It's real pretty. So he's going to go. Well, let me move Timmons down because he made it. And now I'm going to move Stanwyck down here. And he's going to come down. He's going to slide down the hill like that. All right. So he's good, right? So the next thing would be Itaz, and of course she's holding a lantern, which is going to make this a little more challenging. So for someone like that, if you're going to be going down, you got a lantern. I got to say, I got to add like, shoot, I guess I got to add 2 to her score. I could say 4, and if let's say 4. 4. If it's 4 and she, yeah, let's just say 4. How do you go down a hill with a lantern in your hand? I don't know. I'm gonna say she can lower it down with a rope or something like that. So let me see how she's gonna fare. I have a bad feeling that she's gonna fall and hopefully not set herself on fire, because I would let that happen too, because that'll be horrible. And here she goes. She's gonna make her move, and She's standing on the edge, and she has to beat a 15. She comes down, -4, 13. So 4 plus 13, 17. So as she's going down, I don't think it's that big of a flub. She drops the lantern, and it rolls down at the end. Okay, so I'm going to do a saving throw for her. Saving throw is going to determine whether or not the lantern catches on fire. And so I'm rolling for her. I'm going to go ahead and just roll. It's her saving throw to see whether she accidentally busted the lantern and it's now flaming all over the place. And oh, she failed. Now she lost her lantern. Damn. Okay. All right. So there's a fire at the bottom. Okay. And now she's going to do a separate save to see if not she's going to land in the puddle of oil and see she's on fire. Oh, well, she somehow jumps over it very gracefully and lands on the other side. Of course, at this point, Timmons, all right, she comes sliding out here. She's going to lose her lantern. I'm going to take out her light. Timmons and Stanwyck are now looking at her like she's like just totally goofed this thing up. And, you know, likewise, I think she did. So after a while, the fire is burning for quite some time, and then it's going to go out. And then all of a sudden, it's like, wait, it's diminishing quite a bit. What are we going to do? I think everyone else has a torch. A torch only lasts you about four rooms in this game. She's broken her lantern. So Stanwyck pulls out a torch, and he lights it and hands it back to her and says, hey, you know, here you go. You're going to have to keep track of this. Everyone else this is not something you're going to be able to put down. So we're going to go and do our best for this thing. And she says, okay. So boom, she's now holding a torch and things are good. She's lost her lantern. I'll take it off her sheet later. You don't have to worry about that. Of course, Alice at this point comes walking over and she's hearing all this craziness going on. And she yells down, what is happening? What's going on? And Timmons says that she's a klutz and everything, and it's very awkward, okay? Now, Alice is the one with the worst of all the decks, and so this will be the challenge for her. She's got to be under a 10. I'm making this movement, so hopefully she ends up okay, because if she doesn't, I'm going to have to give some falling damage here. So, God, this is going to suck. All right, go ahead. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And Alice is going to make her move, and she's fine. She rolled under. Okay, so she ends up at the bottom. So technically, no one got hurt. The lantern got lost. All right, she made a save at the bottom, and everybody is safe at the bottom of this thing. Of course, they don't really know where they are, so I just say safe is subjective, right? So they come down to the bottom of this thing, and as they're looking around, naturally, Timmons, there's no way he's not going to kind of rummage through things, because that's what thieves do, right? So in the process of moving around stuff, he's going to awaken, how did it say, was there 6 of these skeletons? No. 3 adventurers. So there's going to be 3 skeletons that are going to pop out. They have an armor class of 11, 1 hit dice, and they have weapons. They're going to pull up and take the battle, okay? So looking at this for too long, there is, and I'm going to back out to get my token markers for monsters. That's the only thing about doing it this way. You really don't get to put, like, I don't know what there was going to be skeletons. I don't have anything ready, so I'm just going to use the same numbers all the time. It's kind of an easy way of doing this. So when rummaging through this thing, these guys pop out. Oh, 1, 2, 3, here they come. Boom, boom, boom. And they are going to be springing forth to make an attack. We're going to go ahead and do a straight off roll for initiative, because these things got to form together and come up out of the ground. So it's not like there's like a surprise round of battle. It would take time for them to get together. So it's how would you say? It's a roll for initiative. /R, and I'm going to say 1d6. Okay, this is for the monster. They rolled a 5. Oh my God. And /R, 1d6. This is for the party. They rolled a 6. Okay, the party's going to get a whack on this thing first. Now, I battle in the order in which their dexterity is. So Timmons is going to go first, and he's going to make a punch at it, right? So Timmons, I'm going to go to his character sheet, okay? And when I'm talking about, like, them fighting, this is for your, if you have never played Roll20, this is how this works. You just hit the weapon he's going to use, hit this thing, and it rolls this and rolls damage at the same time. It's really kind of cool, right? He's going to be clearly using the sword. SL stands for silver. I cut this back because you can't really see it when I printed the image out. So that's going to work for him. That's going to be his weapon of choice in this close encounter. The fighter, in this case, he's going to be using either a two-handed sword, and that's silvered, but he also has the +1 sword, which is silver. So I think he's going to put this over his back and use this sword instead, because it gives him a bonus to hit, a bigger bonus to hit, right? It doesn't do as much damage, right? But maybe he's taking it out for a spin. Everybody takes things out for a spin, right? My mage, I don't think darts would be effective against a skeleton. It'd probably go right to the rib cage. So she's going to use her staff, and she's going to swing and try to bust him up. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to basically just hit this. She does not get bonuses either on her to hit rolls or her damage, because her strength is only 10. There's no bonuses. So she's not going to get anything there. And the last one is Ellis. She's going to use her mace. And some people played that the mace gets bonus and warhammers against skeletons. I say that it's just going to do full damage every strike because it's a blunt object. So when she uses her mace, and it's +1, it's silvered because of her strength. I'm going to let her do 7 hit points if she tags him. She tags him, she's taking him out. So that's kind of an easy way of doing it. You know, everyone can do it their own way, but so I'm going to do it. So Timmons is up first. He's going to make a stab at it. He rolls, boom. He misses. Dang it, Timmons. God. Standing right there. How'd you miss that thing? I guess it went right between the ribs. So Timmons comes over and tries to stab. He doesn't think to swipe. He tries to stab. And stabbing a skeleton to the rib cage ain't going to do anything. So he looks like he's just clueless, right? Let's see if my fighter does any better. So Stanwyck gets up, and he's got his +1 silver sword. This is not a werewolf, so it's not going to have the +4 bonus, but he's going to hit this one. Nice. Look at you. All right, I'm very proud of you. Yeah, so these skeletons are not all that big. They're 1 hit dice, so I did not roll for their hit points, but if I just say /R, I'm going to say 1d6. One's 4 /R. I can make them all 4. It doesn't matter to me. 1d6. Another one's 5. Ooh. Watch this one be worth 6. Okay, 1. So I'm gonna let him take out that first one. So where is he? Here he is, right here. He's gonna run and engage this guy. He's gonna slash him, doing a whole. It came up here. Was it 7 hit points worth of damage? And doing so is gonna take this guy out completely. So I'm gonna put my marker over here so I can use it later on. Next up will be Itaz. She can make her move, and she's gonna try to clobber this one. Come straight down with the stack. Wham! On top of number 2, because Timmons botched his shot, right? So she is going to go ahead and take a strike. This will be fun. She's coming in, and she's hitting hard, quick, and fast, and she rolls up. Bad roll. A 6. God, she misses completely. Okay, well, this is not what she's good at. She's good at other things, and obviously she knows for a fact sleeping a skeleton ain't never going to work, so she's not going to be doing anything there. So the next one is my wonderful, prideful cleric that's out on a meaningful mission. So she's going to swing with her mace. She gets max damage if she hits this thing, and she doesn't. So this is depressing. So the other one that really kind of did anything was Stanwyck here, right? So now it's going to be my how would you say, the bad guy's turn. There's 2 skeletons are going to go for it. I believe skeletons are either going to do 1 or 2 things. So I'm going to make it a little more understanding based on position. So this is kind of a weird setup. I guess Sheba came in and kind of went on him, right? So this guy has a choice of 1, 2, 3, right? So I'm going to say 1 is Itaz, 2 Stanwyck, and 3 would be Timmons, right? 1, 2, 3. Let's see what we get. Boom. 3. Timmons, you're in trouble. The skeleton's making a stab at you. So it's going to be /R, 1d20. Let's see what he does, right? Misses you. Okay, you're fine. So that's cool. Number 3 is obviously in a juxtaposition with Ellis, and so that'll be the attack, right? 1d20. Except she has really nice armor class, and so it had no effect. Now it's back to our heroes to make their move on it. Timmons is going to go first. He clearly, maybe he's figured out the fact you don't stab a skeleton, you basically swipe them, you know. So he rears back and he takes a swipe, and he does very well. He hits it for 2 hit points of damage, and he's going to take it down. There's still, I believe, on that guy 2 left, right? So the first one's gone. The next one has 5. So he's got 3 left. Okay. Let's see where I'm gonna have the notepad. I usually have like the numbers in the keypad. So there's 3 left on that guy. All right. So then Stamik's gonna push his way to engage this guy as well, and he's gonna make his slash, and he's still working on that new sword, trying to make sure it works properly. Okay, what'd you get? Oh, yes. Okay, that was a beautiful hit. Look at that. So he had a roll of 19. So he crashes the skeleton into pieces, and it falls on the ground, and it is gone. So the last one is it's Itaz. Itaz is going to come up. So I'm going to give her a flank. She gets a +2 on this roll, based on the fact that this one has engaged Ellis straight on. Okay, so let's see how she does with an attack with the +2. So this is going to roll. I have +2. Ooh, golly, jeepers. Okay, it only had 1 hit point, so she crashes this thing into pieces and it falls on the ground. Nicely done for a magic user. At this point, they're going to start searching through the stuff that's left on there. Now, and discussion's going to happen. Or Itaz turns and says to Ellis, "Couldn't you have turned these things?" And Ellis replies, "Well, yeah, but we were doing such a good job. If it would have got worse, I would have held up my silver holy symbol and started saying stuff." And she goes, "What? Why didn't you do it? Because, you know, we don't know. Somebody could have got hurt." And she says, I know. I guess it all caught me off guard. I didn't get me time to react. I mean, we're just there, and all of a sudden things were coming out of the ground. So they had this big discourse. And so this is going to remind Ellis in the future that this is something you need to do. You need to raise a holy symbol and start turning undead. That's your job here, right? So as they sit down, they start rummaging through things on the ground. They find out there's 224 silver pieces and a wand of light. Sorry about that. So the wand of light itself has 12 charges. And without getting too, let's look this up kind of thing, maybe it's in his book. This is going to be in Spahn's book. I don't know. I'm just going to say that the wand of light, it could be a game changer for these guys. They don't have to use a bunch of torches, which would be nice. He's got it cool. This to kind of let you know, in the omnibus white box, right? He has a whole bunch of new stuff in here. And wand of light spell, always active when held and does not use. What the heck? It says don't use charges, and that one says 12 charges. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it like it always works. Why not? I mean, obviously this is his. Oh, you can't see it because I got this virtual reality thing going on. So this is his book that he wrote, and he put wand of light in here. And every time you use it, doesn't tell you how long a charge it lasts. So I'm just saying that anytime Itaz holds this thing up, it's going to act as a light source. This is kind of neat because that way you can't set yourself on fire, right? So the first thing that Itaz is going to do is she's going to go ahead. I'm going to change this thing a little bit. She's going to douse her torch because she doesn't want it anymore, and she pulls out this wand, and oh my God, the whole place lights up. It's so much brighter. Totally worthwhile. As everybody's kind of everyone's excited about this. I'm gonna have to add this to her character sheet. I'll do it when I take the break for the next one. So Itaz, nice wand of light. And once again, this is for I mean, you could put it on the record sheet. It won't be on the record sheet you see online, but it'll be on the ones I have here as a update. You can try to check that out. So then you take the silver pieces. Now, 200 and how many golly jeepers? 224 silver pieces. It's actually 22.4 pounds of silver, right? 224 silver pieces. Now, what's good about that is that we got all these, weapons off the mayor, and maybe we can hand it back and get more of a gold prize. I don't know. I mean, we're going to burn through some arrows. Maybe we need to make more silver arrows. Can't ever tell with this thing because that's how these games part out, right? So at this point, they're going to probably start heading over more this way. Itaz is holding her wand up over the cliff and looking out into the chamber below and looking to see what's there and see if she could see anything from above. What you see is a set of crude stairs rise a few feet into what appears to be a hollow in the stone. The ceiling dips low, barely 15 feet high, and the interior is draped in darkness. Not anymore, not with the wand of light, right? The chamber is a damp, putrid smell of rotting meat, delicious, and darkness is only broken by the occasional flicker of red light. What? Red light? That's not good. Perception check. Okay, everybody's going to do a perception check because I don't trust red light. Anytime something flickers red, you know it's a bad idea. So once again, I'll show you on the character sheet, and then you guys can see how this is working. Underneath each one of their abilities and magic, it says wisdom, right? That's going to be their perception checks. I use wisdom boards, so I just click that button. And I'm going to start with Timmons and work my way down like I did last time. He always goes number 1. If you have an order to this stuff, you ever play, you just kind of do the same thing over and over again. Just like this. So let me see. So how did Timmons do? Timmons did not roll under. He's a wisdom of 6. So he can't see nothing. Maybe he's too short. Maybe he can't look down there. He's sitting there kind of like, well, I don't see a red light. Could be colorblind. Colorblind, I would understand that. It's probably depressing for Timmons. It's not how he wants to spend his time. So next one is, of course, Stanwyck. He's going to roll. He's just on it. He says, I do see something glowing. It's way over there. I don't know what it is. I think it's moving. Of course, he can't really be sure. He's like right on the line. He needs to roll under 12, and he's at 12. So he knows something, but he can't determine anything, right? Going on with the rest of my happy campers. Here is the roll under for, crap. This is Itaz. Let's see how she does. She can't see nothing. Of course, she's holding the wand. I think the light itself is blinding her, so she can't see any of the light but the light that's above her head, so she doesn't even see. I don't see it. What are you talking about? I don't see red light. You know, just waving us back and forth. Of course, Ellis, if we look at the way she's positioned, and we see how this is going to work. Let's try this. Let's go down. So, well, let's move you out of the way for a second so I can see what's going on. So Ellis is going to take herself and move over to this and tell Itaz, do me a favor, move away a little bit, move down here maybe I can get a better look. So she's trying to get away from Itaz. Itaz is moving over. So maybe I could see a little better by standing here. What could be down there? Because right now that wand is, maybe you should take your hand off. Hey, just take your hand off it. Maybe we can see what's going on. So, and with that, I think that Itaz is, let's see how well this works. Itaz covers the light up or takes her hand off the wand. It stops illuminating enough for Ellis to take a look and says, yeah, there's something big down there. That doesn't look good. What's it look like? I don't know. I can't really see. I think I'm still a little blinded from the flash of that wand, right? So looking in closer, they could see a bunch of corpses in different states of decay everywhere, and there's 4 giant fire beetles in a nest feeding on the carrion. Oh, gross. So they haven't, like I said, this is lower than where they are, so they're looking down on this thing, right? So this is way deep. So this is the higher landing, and then they have something below it, right? Let me take a look at this map. So, oh yeah, here's the trapdoor right here. So this is what they're seeing. They're seeing all this stuff. They smell horrid stuff going on down here. And this is in the far area over here. So I guess there's 4 of these things. They're down in this area. That's supposed to be fire beetles. They're going to be yellow, right? They're down here. You know, you can kind of see them off into the distance down here eating and doing all sorts of nasty stuff, you know, vomiting. Probably they regurgitate. I'm going to say they regurgitate this fire-like Tabasco sauce spittle. And this is what they use to help dissolve the bodies, right? This is great. It's my story. And as they're dissolving the bodies, this is what then they start like gobbling up the burned up remains that still are there. And so I'm gonna put this guy down here too. All right, so they're looking at this, and now I'm gonna make a judgment call, right? Do we go down there and play with these giant fire beetles? Or do we go somewhere else? Because they're pretty far down there. Look, they got to go down this. It's like a drop right here, and they're even further drop down here on this side. I say that I don't know if they're worth messing with. There's other rooms back this way. So I'm going to make a call. 1 through 4, they're not going to go down there. 5 and 6, they're going down there. So let's do /R1D6. Remember that 5 and 6 were going down. dang it. All right, so they're going down. So they want to, they're looking for adventure, and obviously this has piqued some kind of curiosity with them. They want to go down and see what's going on. So descending this slope, it's not as steep as the other one. So they're still going to do their dex checks to climb down this thing. And Timmons is going to go first. So he's, boom. And see how you did there, buddy. Okay, he's fine. He's under 17. So the next one is Stanwyck. You got to do your dex check. You're cool. You're under 15. So the next one is Itaz. Let's do yours. Oh, God, please don't fall. Saving throw. Dang! All right, so Itaz is sitting there playing around with the wand too much, and she's like, wow, this is so pretty. It's like a sparkler. Well, let's just go with it. Anyways, so she's waving it around. All of a sudden, she's trying to kind of climb down and has the wand in her hand. Then she puts it in her mouth, and then the light blinds her. And then she tries to hold on a little bit when she's trying to scale down, and she takes a rolling tumble, right? So she's going to roll down, and she's going to hit the ground, and she's going to take some damage on this. Dang. So she's going to take a whole 3 hit points of damage. So let's put you down. Stanwyck's down here. Simmons made it down. And so here's Itaz. She's going to go -6. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's wrong. She takes 1d6 worth of damage. So she takes, unfortunately, 3 hit points of damage falling to the bottom of the thing. Of course, this time, Stanwyck and Timmons both look at her and go, what is it with you and Cliff? It's not that hard. I mean, you almost set yourself on fire, and now you're too much busy playing with a sparkler wand, and you're not paying what's going on, and you roll down the half of this thing. I mean, you're kind of clumsy. This is not good. You should be better at this. You know, I mean, you're supposed to be dating. What are you, like a $120 soaking wet? This should not be hard for you. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm 6'2". I'm a 200-pound gorilla here climbing out here with chainmail armor on. I don't understand. You didn't even got armor on. There's like no excuse for this whatsoever. So this discourse goes back and forth, and finally, Ellis is going to make her turn to come down the thing, and of course, we're going to see how she's going to do because her dexterity is worse than everybody's. She falls too, right? So she's going to make her roll. Let's do a little save here. I don't think she's going to make a save. Oh, success. All right, so she starts falling down, then makes a rolling thing, and she does not hurt herself and comes running out to the other side, which is good for her, right? And everyone's like, and of course it disrupts the whole discourse between Stanwyck here and Itaz. They're now in this general state of, how would you say, confusion about what is her problem with coming down a cliff. He says, maybe I should tie a rope around you. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe you should hold on to my back, and I should, like, one more thing I got to do. I got to carry you down a cliff because you're not paying attention. And that's how it goes. At this point, when they're having their little complaint session that's going on, I'm going to give these guys a bonus of +1 for initiative. All right. So this is /R. Let's say 1d6 +1, and this is for the fire beetles, right? They rolled a 5. Oh God. Okay, because they're doing their complaint session over here. These guys, and let's see if they're understanding what's going on. Let's see if they're going to be able to. Oh, I spelled wrong. Or 1d6. Let's see what happens. 2. No, too bad. You're going to lose it because of Stanwyck complaining and making a bunch of noise. These guys are going to charge, and they're going to go after our adventuring party. Nice. That's how that works, right? Okay. So I'm gonna hold it right here, and obviously the next session will be this is part 3, so next one's gonna be part 4. So I appreciate you all listening, and hopefully this is interesting and fun for you. All right. See you in a few.